Hello, my name is Pedro. In this presentation, I'm going to talk about the career that I would like to pursue, is becoming a physical therapist. However, I will be focusing more on the specialization that truly inspires me, which is working as a sports physical therapist. Uh, this is one of the oldest and most interesting definitions that I found about being a physical therapist. According to the World Health Organization, defines physiotherapy in 1958 as the art and science of treatment using the therapeutic exercise, heat, cold, light, water, massage, and electricity. In addition, physiotherapy includes the performance of electrical and manual tests to determine the value of the affection and muscle strength, like tests of range of joint movement and measures of vital capacity, as well as diagnostic aids for the control of the evolution. Why I choose PT? This is why. My interest in PT started during a soccer training session when I was 19 years old, something like that. When I met the physical therapist of Manuel Santana, an old famous Spanish tennis player, is here right here. I suffered a knee injury that day, and within just 5 minutes, he assessed me and he moved my knee in every direction, and he diagnosed me a mild ACL strain. But he reassured me that it was not too much serious and that my knee would hold up well for years to come. That moment left a deep impression on me, like how someone could provide calm and confidence through knowledge and skills. That's when I knew I wanted to become a PT. In terms of history, where and when this profession began, the first record use of PT dates back to ancient Greece and Rome in 460 before Christ, where massage and baths were used to promote healing. Some people who made a mark in history, we have Per Henrik Lin, the father of the PT. Also we have Sir Robert Jones, is a pioneer in orthopedic surgery, and we have, this was the first one in combining PT with surgery. The change science since its inception, initially focused on massage or manual therapy, now is rooted in exercise based on rehab and evidence-based practice, with the using of technological tools like electrotherapy, ultrasound, biomechanics, even virtual health. It helped a lot to improve those manual applications. An interesting fact that I found about history of PT is that before the 80s, PTs, once a formal profession, doctors and nurses used exercise massage for treatment. During the World War I in 1914, it became essential for soldiers' rehabilitation, leading to the creation of the first PT department at Walter Reed Hospital, led by Mary Macmillan. A day in a life as a physical therapist, my main responsibility is to assess and treat injuries, develop rehab, respond quickly to any kind of sprain, contusion, muscle pulls during the practice or games. Some pros for me is work on both in mental and physical aspects of performance, and as a cons, for I believe is the constant concern for players' health. The matches can be chaotic at the same time. The fans cheers, the training is from the sidelines, and teammates try to communicate with you all the time. Basically, it can be mentally draining to constantly worry about keeping every player in top condition, especially in the elite. The schedule, talking about the schedule, basically it's not very flexible because of the training during the week, games on weekends, occasionally travel with the team. It's not very flexible, but at the end of the day, it's worth it because at the same time, when it's off season, for example, there is more free time and many players are not injured. Okay, now let's break it down, the education stuff. There are 6 steps, are simple and kind of complex at the same time. First of all, is to complete a bachelor's degree in fields like athletic training, exercise science, kinesiology, or for example, my degree that I'm currently taking right now is sports and performance. Then the second step is try to find a job or get training and experience, such as volunteer, work in clinics, hospital, rehab centers. Then the next step is the most important one, I think, is get the doctorate of physical therapy, which is a 3-year program with more different courses and more scientific programs. Then the fourth one is get license. So basically, it's graduate from CAPTE accredited, which is the Commission on Accreditation in Physical Therapy Education. After that, also pass the National Physical Therapy Exam, the NPTE. The 5th step is get certified, as for example the EMT, which is the Emergency Medical Technician certification. Is often required and very recommendable, and optional become a sports certified specialist. Then the last one, it will be complete a sport residency, such as 1 year specialized training in sports, a specific rehab and treatment, or even in a sport clinic or medicine sports centers. And also in terms of organizations, we have the American Physical Therapy Association, which is the APTA, and the American Board of Physical Therapy Specialists, which is the ABPTS. Both are essential to get certifications that I already talked about. Talking about the salary and the jobs, I made the salary research based on the place that I would like to live, which is Australia, because the PT salary in Australia is high as compared to other countries. The entry level, generally you can get around 60-70k per year, which is pretty good, but if you are experienced professional, can get around 100k per year, which is more good. And then about the opportunities for advancement, the PTs who specialize in areas such as sport physiotherapy, neurological rehabilitation, pediatric physiotherapy, they tend to earn more because the demand for specialized skills and knowledge. And basically, with experience, PTs can advance to positions such as clinic director or rehabilitation manager. Then in terms of job openings that I found in some different areas from Australia, I found these 3 over here, such as rehab physical therapist in the Western Bulldogs Football Club in Victoria, Australia, or more kind of different, as a musculoskeletal physical therapist in Melbourne, or even as a sports physiotherapy in Sydney, in a clinic physiotherapist of sports. Okay, now talking about the observation, the professional that I observed, it was Drew, the athletic trainer of the soccer team at Weber International. The setting, it was off-field evaluation during recovery session. The case that I observed, it was a right ankle sprain in my teammate. Some key actions that I could observe, it was he performed very quick, the detailed assessment, he identified lateral ankle sprain very quick. Also, he provided immediate treatment, the acute injury management protocol, which is the rest, ice, compression, and elevation. After that, I was not able to observe a specific PT, I know, but I had the opportunity to observe you. So from this experience, I learned the importance of on-the-spot diagnosis and communication with athletes. I realized how Drew applied clinical reasoning by evaluating joint range of motion. This allowed him to determine both the severity of the injury and the most appropriate treatment pathway to follow. And yeah, basically, he provide the best possible support to my teammate in order to help him recover as quick as possible. Okay, now as a conclusion, I choose to become a sport physical therapist because I want to dedicate my life to the environment that brings me the true happiness, which is the world of soccer. Every time I step on the field, everything else fades away. I don't think about stress or problems. I just the ball, the game. I really enjoy seeing my teammates, players giving their best. That's the space that where I feel so much alive. Because I want to wake up every day with purpose, knowing that my job helps athletes to stay healthy, recover, and continuing doing what they love. Yeah, basically my dream is to work in a professional soccer environment, not just as a therapist, but as a part of a team, contributing to something bigger than myself. Yeah, that's why I choose this path, to live with passion, to serve with knowledge, to stay close to the game that I love the most. Most interesting references, useful resource that I found. Yeah, that's my whole presentation. Thank you very much.